السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، يعطيكم ألف عافية يا جماعة. طبعا احنا إن شاء الله هذا الفيديو راح يكون عن شابتر 7 بالجرافيكس، بحكي عن الجي يو اي. راح يكون جدا بسيط. الجي يو اي هو عبارة عن اختصار لجرافيكال يوزر انترفيس. احكي لك الجي يو اي ديفينيشن، وفي عندك راح نحكي عن الجي يو اي ابلكيشنز اللي هي تطبيقات، مثلا تول فور اركتكتشرال ديزاين، فاسيلتي لاي اوت باكج، سيركولر، او اللي هو انه يستخدم للديزاين، بس بشكل عام للديزاين بروجرامز. بحكي لك انه language of the application نفسها. في عندك الويندوز and icons، يعني اشياء احنا ان شاء الله راح نشوفها في التشابتر، انه انا عم بذكرها، انه ويندوز and icons، display windows operations زي opening closing positioning resizing. هذا راح يكون اسهل تشابتر من كل تشابترات الجرافيكس يعني. وذا operations such as working with sliders buttons icons menus. فخلينا نروح على السلايدات. Designing a graphical user interface. احكي لك graphical user interface is commonly included in application software nowadays. GUI may contain display windows, icons, menus, and other features to aid a user in applying the software to a particular problem. بحكي لك اليوزر دايالوج. اليوزر موديل بحكي لك for any application the user model serves as the basis of the design of the dialogue by describing what the system is designed to accomplish and what operations are available. It states the type of objects that can be displayed and how the objects can be manipulated. من الاكزامبلز عليها tool مثلا الاركتكتشرال ديزاين، الهندسه المعماريه. The model describes how the package can be used to construct and display views of buildings by positioning walls, doors, windows and other building components. بحكي لك facility layout package انه كيف بده ينظم، و facility layout انه كيف اللاي اوت مثلا العمارة، للشقة، لمش عارف ايش. هاي الاشياء اللي بيستعملوها في الهندسة. A facility layout package might include a set of furniture items along with the operation for positioning and removing different objects in a specified floor plan. Circuit design program. A circuit design program provides electrical or logical symbols اللي هم الذرات الكهربائية. بحكي لك the positioning operation for adding or deleting elements within a layout. Language of the application انه all information in the user dialog is presented in the language of the application. Example in architectural design package بحكي لك all interactions are described only in architectural terms. انه انت مثلا لما تفتح بلندر راح تلاقي كل الاشياء اللي بتخص الديزاين ل 3D objects، ل 2D models، كذا. There is no reference to a particular data structure, computer graphics terms or other concept that may be unfamiliar to an architect. هلا بدنا نحكي عن الويندوز والايكونز. بحكي لك يعني الاوبجكتس and actions. Typical GUI provide visual representation for the objects that are to be manipulated in an application and for the action to be performed on the application objects. Display window operation. بحكي لك standard display window operations such as opening, closing, positioning or resizing. Other operations such as اللي هي operation needed for work with the sliders, buttons, icons and menus. بحكي لك display window operation. Some systems are capable of supporting multiple window managers where different window styles can be accommodated, each with its own window manager which could be structured for a particular application. بحكي لك الايكونز هي عباره عن جزئين، يا بتكون للابلكيشن ايكونز يا كوماند اند كنترول ايكونز. الابلكيشن ايكونز بحكي لك ايكونز representing objects such as walls, doors, windows and circuit elements. اما control icons or command icons اللي هي الايكونز representing actions such as rotate, magnify, scale, clip or paste. accommodating multiple skill levels. انه كيف هذا البرمجيه بتتكيف مع كل شخص، انه مثلا مع beginner لهذا اللي بيستعمل هذا البرنامج او لواحد محترف بيستعمل هذا البرنامج. Selecting بحكي لك actions. Usually interactive GUI provides several methods for selecting actions. For example, an action could be specified by pointing to an icon, accessing a pull down or pop up menu, typing a keyboard command. This allows the package to accommodate users that have different skill levels. فبحكي لك less experienced user اللي هو less experienced user may find an interface with a large comprehensive set of operation to be difficult to use بشكل عام، بس it may be preferable to have smaller interface with fewer but more easily understood operations, detailed prompting, a simplified set of menus and options. بحكي لك simple point and click operations are often easiest for an inexperienced user of an application package. Interfaces typically provide a means of masking the complexity of a package so that beginners can use the system without being overwhelmed with too much detail. مثلا experienced user اللي هو اليوزر مثلا اللي بيدخل على بلندر وبيستعمل بس الكيبورد وهو عم بيسوي الديزاين وشوية ماوس. هذا experienced user. Experienced users typically want speed. This means fewer prompts and more input from the keyboard or with multiple mouse button clicks. Actions are selected with function keys or with simultaneous combination of keyboard keys. Because experienced users will remember these shortcuts for commonly used actions. انه خلص انت بتعرف انه الاكس مثلا delete ولا close ولا مثلا المهم انه اشي عملية للحذف. different experience levels. في عندك ال less experience وال more experienced وفي عندك ال in between. An interface may be designed to provide different sets of options to users with different experience levels. This may be selectable by the user through an application preference setting or suggested by the application itself as the user gains experience with it. Different experience levels. Help facilities بحكي لك help facilities can be designed on several levels. مثلا beginners can carry on a detailed dialogue بس the more experienced user can reduce or eliminate prompts and messages. Help facilities can also include one or more tutorial applications which provide users with an introduction to the capabilities and the use of the system. هلا consistency بحكي لك الانترفيس consistency an important design consideration in an interface is consistency. بحكي لك an icon shape should always have a single meaning. زي مثلا الفلوبي ديسك اللي بتلاقيه انت دائما بالسيف بالوورد بيكون هم مستعملين نفس صورة الفلوبي ديسك كسيف في كل الابليكيشنز الثانية. هاي consistency rather than serving to represent different actions or objects depending on the context. بحكي لك some other examples for consistency. Always placing menus in the same relative positions so that a user doesn't have to hunt for a particular option انه يدور عليه دواره. Always using the same combination of keyboard keys for an action. Always using the same color encoding so that the color doesn't have different meaning in different situations. هاي بتعقد احيانا الناس. Minimizing memorization انك انت ما يعني easy to remember انه بيقلل عملية الحفظ على هذا انه هاي بتسوي هيك وهي بتسوي هيك. Easy to remember operations. Operation in an interface should also be structured so that they are easy to understand and to remember. Obscure, complicated, inconsistent and abbreviated command formats lead to confusion and reduction in the effective application of the software. Example, one key or button used for all delete operation is easier to remember than a number of different keys for different kinds of delete procedures. في عندك icons and window systems. بحكي لك icons and window systems can also be organized to minimize memorization. Different kinds of information can be separated into different windows so that a user can identify and select items easily. في عندك icons. Icons should be designed as easily recognizable shapes that are related to an application objects and actions. To select a particular action, a user should be able to select an icon that resembles that action. Backup and error handling. انه كيف انك بدك تسوي backup in case of a failure. بالbackup reset the system. بحكي لك a mechanism for undoing a sequence of operation is another common feature of an interface. It allows a user to explore the capabilities of a system knowing that the effects of a mistake can be corrected. Typically, systems can now undo several operations, thus allowing a user to reset the system to some specified action. بحكي لك operation verification for those actions that cannot be reversed, such as closing an application without saving changes. The system asks for a verification of the requested operation. إنه هل أنت متأكد ولا لا؟ Are you sure you want to save the changes؟ زي هيك. Error handling. بحكي لك good diagnosis and error messages help a user to determine the cause of an error. Interfaces can attempt to minimize errors by anticipating certain actions that could lead to an error. Users can be warned if they are requesting ambiguous or incorrect actions, such as an attempting to apply a procedure to multiple application objects مثلا. الفيدباك انه والله لما كليك ابوتون تحس انه هو كليكت الفيتشر الفيدباك اللي فيه تبين لك انه هو كليكت انه يكون مثلا يصير بولد او هذا يعني هيك. Responding to user actions is another important feature of an interface, particularly for an inexperienced user. At each action is entered, As each action is entered, some response should be given. Otherwise, a user might begin to wonder what the system is doing and whether the input should be re-entered. Feedback can be given in many forms, such as highlighting an object, displaying an icon or message بحكي لك and displaying a selected menu option in a different color. في عندك linked leap process اللي هو when the processing of a requested action is linkedly, the display of a flashing message clock, hourglass or other progress indicator is important. انه زي كانوا في عم progress عم بيصير. It may be also possible for the system to display partial results as they are completed. انك انت بدك تنقل فايل من مكان لمكان، انه الاشياء اللي انتقلت وتمت تبينها في الشاشة عشان يحس اليوزر انه هي خلص في إشي عم بيصير في هذا الوقت اللي هو بيستنى فيه. The system might also allow a user to input other commands or data while one instruction is being processed. في عندك الفيدباك للexperienced users. Standard symbol designs are used for typical kinds of feedback. A cross, a frowning face, or a thumbs down symbol is often used to indicate an error, and some kind of time symbol or blinking at work sign is used to indicate that an action is being processed. This type of feedback can be very effective with a more experienced user. Less experienced بحكي لك beginners may need more detailed feedback that not only clearly indicates what the system is doing but also what the user should input next. وهلا بدنا نحكي عن clarity. Clarity is another important feature of feedback. A response should be easily understood and not be overpowered that the user concentration is interrupted. With function keys, feedback can be given as an audible click or by lighting up the key that has been pressed. Audio feedback اللي هو بحكي لك انه بشكل عام لازم يكون واضح. A fixed message area can be used so that a user always know where to look for messages, but it may be advantageous in some cases to place feedback messages in the work area near the cursor. Feedback can also be displayed in different colors to distinguish it from displayed objects. هلا خلينا نشوف بس قربنا نخلص. الايكو فيدباك اللي هو الايكو feedback is often useful particularly for keyboard input so that error can be detected quickly. Buttons and dual input can be encoded or echoed in the same way. Scalar values that are selected with dials or from displayed scales are usually encoded on the screen so that a user can check the input values for accuracy. فعندك a selection of coordinate points can be echoed with a cursor or other symbol that appears at the selected position. For more precise echoing of selected positions, the coordinate values could also be displayed on the screen. Thank you. وهيك احنا بنكون خلصنا chapter 7.